Yes, I garden in Canada. And no, I do not live in the beautiful Victorias or milder climates in and around Canada. I live smack dab center in Zone 3, Saskatchewan, where I can see my dogs run for 3 days, along with my ex-boyfriends. So it's cold. And normally December is not the time to start seeds. However, there are seeds you can start, even in a cold climate such as a Zone 3. Today's video, we're gonna go over 3 different categories on what seeds you can grow, and I'll actually give you some tools, tips, and tricks to determine if a seed should be started in December, regardless of it being mentioned in this video or not. So let's get into it. Okay, number 1, I will say, other than the first category, a lot of these are going to need special equipment or equipment just in general. And by that, I mean you need a grow light that is either adjustable in height and or has a dimmable function on it. You need to be able to have the space to house potentially larger size plants, depending on what morphology of plant you're going for. Obviously, some of these are not huge by any means. And then the other thing is either a cold frame or a greenhouse. Now, the cold frame, if I had to choose between the two, cold frame would be the first one I would invest in, particularly for those plants that like the cooler soils and are falling in and around the early harvest category, solely because it just gets you a kickstart on your garden if you wanted to get it. If you're gonna invest, cold frame over the greenhouse, or both, like I did last year, and now I'm poor. So let's start with the slow starters. These are plants that can take weeks, if not months, to actually germinate. And they require some special circumstances, none of which is gonna cost you any more money than a normal seed would. It's just, they need some specific conditions. Now, some of these are exotic, some of these are not exotic, and it's just regardless, if you don't wanna go pick them up at a greenhouse or a garden center, now's the time to start them. Now, the way you can determine this is if you are meant, or you usually start your seeds somewhere in March, April, middle of February, and your seed that you're looking at, the seed package you're looking at, says anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks germination time, even 3 weeks germination time, these are seeds that you want to grab now, solely because you want them to be germinated in and around the March, April mark, rather than starting them in March, April, and them only germinating and doing their thing closer to May, June. So if that makes sense. I'll give you some ideas on ones that fall into this category. Number 1 is asparagus. Now, asparagus, obviously you can buy the crowns. If you didn't want to go with the crowns, you can actually grow them from seed. And sometimes these are more durable in regards to the crowns that are formed from these seeds. Other benefit of starting asparagus earlier from seed is that you can get different varieties for less money. So of course there's your classic greens, but there's like purple ones and all different fancy sorts of asparagus, where if you can buy from seed, you classically will find out it's much cheaper than buying the full-blown plant. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not, obviously it's gonna take a little bit more time for you to get a harvest off of it. However, if you think of how many seeds you get in a pack and how many plants you can start for $3 versus $10, it may be worth your time, particularly if you really like asparagus. If you ever plan on moving though, if you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay here that long in whatever house you're in, then don't invest the time and energy into it, because that would just be heartbreaking. Or you just like take all the plants with you. That's what I would do. Next one is Columbine. So this is another plant that's expensive to purchase as a full plant from the greenhouse. And where I am, it's between $8 and $10 for a single Columbine flower. And Columbine flowers, if you did not know, are incredibly exotic looking. In my opinion, they're a colder climate perennial that looks tropical in nature and is so unique in the flowering style compared to any other perennial or plant I really see out there. Now, with the Columbines, the reason why we start them earlier in the season is because we want obviously to build up some biomass, but the germination time is quite hefty when it comes to the Columbine plant. And by hefty, I mean between 30 and 90 days, depending on the situation. So due to that extended period of germination, we need to start them sooner rather than later. Now, if you choose to start these later in the season and then just transplant little baby plants in, or baby seedlings into the ground, totally cool. Just you can't expect them to be as great at overwintering in your climate, and you could expect higher levels of loss. So if you accommodate for that, you can absolutely start these March, April, or a direct sown if you wanted. But if you want to try to get a plant that's a better guarantee, I guess, that it's going to actually make it to 2026 spring, seed starting them now is a great idea. Plus you can get, again, more exotic varieties, different colors, different shades, compared to if you just bought the plant from the greenhouse, because they just go with the classics. Now with Columbine, it falls in the same category as rosemary, passion fruit, and fuchsia. So these 4 plants are plants that require a refrigeration period of time. And that means they need to be placed in a moist paper towel and then put into the fridge. The timing that it has to spend in the fridge depends on the plant. Always read the packaging, because sometimes it can even come down to the variety. But this extended period of time in the refrigerator delays germination. And I did do a video on some tips and tricks for starting plants in a refrigerator up here. That includes using a light. I use this method in an actual research greenhouse because we had plants that need to be started under cooler conditions. It was like 5 degrees Celsius, and we popped a light into the fridge. It works a little bit better, it's a bit more effective, we found anyways. And so that's something that you can give a shot. If your New Year's resolution for 2025 is to drink less beer, and now you have an extra beer fridge, great application for it. Okay, next one is one that you really don't need special equipment for, and most definitely is just one of those plants that take a really long time to get going, and that is leeks. So leeks, they are the same, they germinate the same as like an onion time-wise, but the actual seedlings themselves, they like to take their sweet time getting going. And so because of that, starting them earlier will ensure that you actually get a leek with some substance to it, if you will, and which is actually a pretty big deal in more ways than one. If you want a thicker leek, you need to start them sooner. And this just allows them more time to put on more biomass. And again, they're not going to put you out in regards to space and light and all that sort of stuff, because they just grow slow. That's the only reason why you'd start these earlier. I personally did not like leeks prior to the Geek Crew telling me what I can eat or what I can do with leeks. And I got several recipes when I complained about leeks the last time in one of the videos years past. And from those recipes, I found actually some stuff I really like and enjoy. So Geek Crew, check them out in the comments down below. They'll probably have some really tasty leek recipes that may change your opinion of the leek world. The next one is hot peppers. Now this is specific to hot peppers started from seed, and this is even more specific to like your super hots. So we're talking like Scotch bonnets and habaneros and Carolina Reapers. Like we're talking hot ones that I don't understand why people grow them, other than they look cool. They're masochists, they like to harm themselves, and so because of that, they grow very super hot peppers that they then choose to eat. It's like a whole genre of people. It's like a genre of gardening. It's just hot peppers, and now's the time to start them. You want a plant that has a little bit more biomass on it, and these hot peppers tend to take a little bit more time when it comes to germination. So they kind of remain dormant for a period of time, kind of like myself in the winter. We need to start them again a little bit earlier, and you need to consider using a heat mat with these because it actually will make a big difference in the time in which it germinates. If you choose not to start these in December, what you could do technically is you can use a yogurt maker. So there's Instapot yogurt makers, there's like yogurt makers on Amazon, and you can speed up the germination of some of these hotter plants or plants that just require a little bit of heat to get going a bit quicker. And then you can actually delay the germination or the planting of these into like February, March, which is what I'm choosing to do. Okay, the next group is high biomass. Now, what I mean by this is we have plants that morphologically speaking, is that a word, morphologically? These plants we want to be big, we want to be bushy, we want some meat on the bone when it comes to them. And these usually fall into the category of more of a decorative plant. However, if you want to go that route, right now is the time to do it. So number one is just exotic tropical plants. Examples of ones you can go with: African violets, begonia. Technically, these are tropical and exotic. I know, shocking, but true. The pothos plant, any sort of like hanging vine, you name it, anything that is, you want a bit of growth to it, you want several stems. Right now is the time to take cuttings, not start from seed, cuttings, and then root those cuttings, and then take those cuttings and pot them up, because they take a little bit of time to get going, and they need obviously some specific conditions. And if you want something of substance by the time it comes to actually potting them up, right now is the time to start with them. So go grab your tropical plants, give them a haircut, and toss them in some water and get that germination process, or germination, get that rooting process going. Actually, I missed some that are very popular as well. Wandering Dude, actually, and anything in that Transcedia, this family, they're like all like those purple looking ones. Those are very popular for hanging baskets. Now's the time to start them. Next one is the peppers you chose to overwinter. So I did do a video on how to overwinter, or how to put peppers into a dormancy temporarily. You're probably noticing a little bit of action on some of these plants now. If that's the case, and you, for the love of the pepper gods, cannot stop that biomass from accumulating, now's the time to just suck it up, give them some light, water, fertilizer, and allow them to put the biomass on. Remove the flowers whenever they tend to pop up. Consider trimming them and actually topping the stems to make more of a bush. Getting them going now, even if they aren't going yet, you can take the time to actually top, cut, and manipulate the plant in a way to result in a more bushier pepper plant, which obviously results in more peppers. So right now is the time to foster that higher biomass growth. The next one is lemongrass. Now, lemongrass can be started from seed, and they need to be above the 10 degrees Celsius mark at all times, particularly at night. And so because of that, they don't need a heat mat, but they sure as heck cannot go into like a colder greenhouse or into a cold frame, and they may need to reside indoors. Now, this is solely because of biomass. They germinate at a relatively quick speed, and they put on biomass at a relatively normal rate. It's just solely volume. How much volume you want to get is the determining factor. Now, the other ones that kind of fall, I guess, in my head, cooking wise, fall into the same category are things like ginger and turmeric. So these plants you can actually start right now from the rhizome. I have some, I don't think they're going to show up on camera, but there is some in this planter behind me. These are great ones to start, and these ones actually I don't buy from any sort of garden center or seed person or nothing. I literally go to the grocery store and grab it. Yeah, that's it. And then I start them from that. Okay, this one is going to shock some of you, but I did this one year, and let me tell you, I did not regret it, and I am gonna do it again this year. That is your onion seeds. Yeah, I know, weird, but sweet onions in particular are known to get pretty darn big, sometimes up to 10 pounds. And the way that that is achieved, from everything I've ever read, is that they are very classically started in December. And because they're so easy to maintain as a plant, they really don't get that tall, they don't really take up that much room. It's an easy one to start in December, and one that's well worth your time. Now, when you start them into December, you need to consider the fact that you will need to bump them up, and part of getting the larger bulbs and the benefit of starting them this early is that you need to separate the plants out and give each plant its own little pot. This is solely because the longer the onion grows, the more biomass it puts on. And this is particularly true if you don't let the temperatures drop, causing like a flowering cycle for that onion. And you literally treat the entire growing season as an active growing period. And trust me, you will not regret this one. I did it one year and I got wonderful onions from it. So give it a shot, give it a shot. You will not be disappointed. Not only that, but these are ones that you can put out earlier too. So you don't have to struggle with them indoors for very long. So long as you protect them from frost, they actually prefer being put out into like a cooler soil. So that's also another benefit. Okay, the last group is the early harvesters. And this is one of the tricks that you can use. If you have no need for higher levels of biomass. If you know that the seed itself doesn't have extended germination periods, or you want an early harvest, any plants that fall in the 160 to 120-ish days to harvest range are plants that you may want to consider starting now and or January or February, in and around there. Use caution with this. Some of these can get very, very large, and therefore you may not enjoy the process later on in the season, particularly if you have nowhere to put them, and even more particularly if they don't like cold and you have to have like a heated something. Not for the faint of heart. I did it with some warty pumpkins this last season. They turned out, they grew. Will I do it again? Probably not. Probably not. That was way too much work. I mean, the reward was there, but regardless, not my favorite choice. But if you see that on a package, right now's the time to start them. Early harvest differ from the 160 to the 120s in the sense that they're less than the 120 mark. And planting them out early isn't going to harm them because they actually don't mind the cooler temperatures. They will be harvestable in kind of the early summer months, mid-summer months, which is not classically when these would be harvested. The first one is artichokes. So artichokes I did grow, I want to say this 2 years ago. That was like my Hail Mary plant. If you're new to the Geek Crew and you don't know, I always do like at least 1 or 2 Hail Mary plants that just really aren't meant to grow here. They're a little bit too exotic. They have a lot more work that's intended for them. Artichokes made the list 2 years ago. Pretty rewarding plant to grow. Very large plant to grow. Actually, I grew it in a container and I was like, that was maybe a bad choice. And they're tasty. So these guys I did start in December. I didn't start them like super early December. I think I started them around Christmas time. Very decorative plant. If you put it in like the front or like in a main kind of pot, she's a showstopper for sure. Plus you just don't see them in my zone, so it's like odd to see. Next one is foxglove. Now, obviously, by harvest, I mean the flowers becoming a thing. Foxglove is one that, yes, you can start later, absolutely. However, if you start them now and then you expose them to a dip in temperatures, a cooler season, if you will get flowers earlier because they are a biannual, or they flower every second year. So one way to get them to flower in the first year and to get the beauty of a foxglove is to start them early, like right now. They do take time to germinate as well. It's between 14 and 21 days, which I mean isn't like a huge amount compared to the early start ones that we're speaking to, but it is a little bit of an extended period. Again, a little bit of a cooling period. And by cooling period, I mean just let it drop. Literally. If you go for the world of cold frames, you start them indoors, you move them into kind of like a cold frame. You'd be milk jugs, literally milk jugs, bottom cut off, top opened, pop them in there. So long as they don't freeze, you will have flowers from that foxglove in your first year. Once your soil's workable, once it's up to temperature, pop them in, you're off to the races. Okay, next one is lavender. So this one is harvestable in the sense that people use them as like physical pretty flowers all the way to medicinal uses and that sort of thing. By early harvest, this is another one where I'm speaking to the fact that you could get it to flower in the first year. These guys also fall into like the early start category because of how much time it takes them to grow. If you follow the same rules as the foxglove, meaning you start them in a warmer temperature climate, they do like a little bit of bottom heat, tends to help a little bit. If you get these guys going, you pop them outside, let them kind of cool down, and these can get quite cool. When they come back, they will flower within the first year. Does it happen every time perfectly? No, but it's possible and it can happen if you do the right steps. Where I am, these aren't a perennial, so to be honest, it's kind of the only real option for some of the lavenders that you would typically want to go with. It's something to give a shot. Other ones to just try are anything like a dwarf tomato, for example, like a little cherry tomato. You can get some determinate varieties. It's a great option to start now. Anything determinate, literally anything determinate, you can start now and get a little bit of an earlier harvest than you normally would. And actually you'd probably be quite early of a harvest. So if you want to know more on what type of soil you may choose to use in the process of growing some of these early, you can check out this video right here, and Google says to watch that. They usually know more than I do, so go check it out. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!